Bayou Bitch. We're going to give you a little taste test of this thing today. The amp is based upon 6L6 Type 5881 tubes, so you can get the little cleaner tones that most people associate with American amplifiers. Cathode/fixed bias amplifier will allow you to go from one or the other depending on the gig situation, or if you're in the studio and would like to have one or the other. The amplifier is one channel. It's got treble middle bass controls. The middle controls do a lot more than most amplifiers. We really beat those up for people that are going to look for more of a drive setting, because you can crank your mids and the amp will really go, or you can scoop them back and it'll clean up. It'll also do the same to certain degrees with your hands, which I'll show you in a minute. This is the only amp we designed right now that has a reverb circuit in it, but it does more than just standard reverb. It gives you tone controls, dwell control, and a drive control on your reverb sections, so that you can get a lot of different tones out of it. What I'm going to do now is give you a couple little taste tests of this thing. This is our bridge pickup, standard P90s. Amplifier is pretty much set. I've got the bass dragged down a bit because the P90s are a little dark, and the volume's on 5, and it's in the cathode bias setting. And you'll notice that when I take some of these notes and hit them, they're going to start to just kind of give you a little bit of smooth texture. That's the cathode bias setting, so it'll give you that kind of a suction on the end, which we call compression. So the more note you hit, it's like if you hit it really hard, it's going to compress a bit on the front edge. Like, I'll give you an idea. The amplifier will allow you to take a note and play, or you can hit it. So it's all in your hands. You can get a lot of dynamics with the amplifier. Clean up, bite, so it's kind of like your own personality coming through the amplifier. If you're feeling good, lay it back down. But that's the biggest design that we like about what we do, is we're trying to make the amps more sensitive to you, instead of like having to use colorization. Like you can use delays; they take effects very well. But as far as like drive, there's nothing like the drive in an amplifier. Allow you to bite it and clean it up. Then we're going to go to the bridge pickup, give you some of those sounds. So, as you'll notice, it still kind of retains its character on both pickup settings. You can do it all with your hands, and that's the biggest thing that we're pretty much going for, is the player's touch. And of course, the amps work very well on a lot of settings. So, like there's a lot of amplifiers, when you start to crank these things to 10, they don't really react well. And we try to hone every one of them. No matter what you put through it, it'll do the job. Like right now, I'm going to leave the same settings, and I'm going to crank the amp to about 10. And this is with a cathode bias. We're at about 30 watts or so. it still holds together well, so you can still hear the notes. If you want to of course, she's going to have natural harmonic feedback because the amp is actually up quite a bit, and I'm standing right next to it. It'll allow you to get a lot of notes, you know. You can hear the reverb in the background there, but let me give you an idea what the reverb can do. Set it back down to there. You'll notice that right there is giving us a lot of spoiling, shall we say. You're going to hear on the end of the spring attack. So if you'll hear, so it's the spring with a frequency, and then you've got your dwell, and that's with it off. And I can take it, put it about halfway up. And it's just going to be really ambient, almost like a slap. You can really get into it. Possibilities with reverb control. And the amp comes with any speaker configuration you really would like it in, but the combination we tend to like with this amplifier is we use the new Jet series from Jensen. We have the Electric Lightnings and some that we like. That's a really, really nice speaker they've come out with lately that we're really happy with. It's got a really good crossover tone from American/British type sounds with speakers, and it holds very well together, and it's got a good power rating. As far as their neodymium series, they've come out with a new Jet neodymium that we use, and actually this one as the top speaker, and it's very balanced, very articulate on the highs, and the low end is very tight. So it allows you to get a good balance with the Alnico speaker that we use in it, which is in the bottom half of the amplifier. The Alnico is very dark. It's a 100-watt Alnico they call the Blackbird that they've come out with that we're really pleased with. It's got a really good tone to it, really warm and dynamic. But the amp works well with a lot of different speakers. This is just the one that we pretty much prefer in this amplifier combo form. But of course, you can always have any type of speaker you want in the amplifiers. As far as amplifiers themselves, how we're doing them, you can have them in this type of format where we're doing a hard cover. It's not Tolex. We don't use Tolex because it tends to tear and rip. Everybody's doing it, and we're not into doing what everybody does. So this has worked out really well. It's been this amp here has actually been played for about 6 months by a player that we endorse named Rob, and he's had it out quite a bit. And as you can see, it's still in great shape, and it has been knocked around a little bit. So the amplifiers are very sturdy. They're handmade, and we try to take everything that we do and do it with articulation. So as far as front covers, I mean, if you can dream it and you want us to try it, we'll give it a shot. So that's a brief introduction to the Bayou Bitch, and if you want to know any more about it or have any questions about it, you can call